Hey guys. Um, so I have returned. I know I set up some expectations would come with cushion for my goals for the new year. Not too long after filming and posting that video, my body decided to be no. Life update. I have been very sick and struggling. So I had a hard time getting a new medication approved, which I'm not sure, honestly, if I remember mentioning in the videos at the beginning of the year, but I had been taking one immunosuppressant, but because my psoriatic arthritis pain had moved to my sternum and my sacral and like hip area. So not necessarily what you would think normally of like your lower back, but like even lower. That medication didn't really help that. So I needed to get approved for an injection, a biologic immunosuppressant that would be more severe, I guess. That took a bit. That took pretty much all of February. And during that time, I was in a lot of pain and taking steroids and trying to wean off, and then having to go back and then trying to wean off to help me just slightly function with a lot of pain and stiffness. And yeah, so I got approved for the med at the end of February. But it didn't go well. I ended up going to a family function, and then the next day taking my first dose of that injectable biologic, which was a biosimilar of Humira, if you're curious. And on that was a Thursday. On Sunday, I didn't feel great, but I thought I was just tired because it was Sunday and I had worked Friday. The 3-day work is tough on me, even more so. So I just thought I was tired. I then woke up Monday, first week of March, and had no voice. My voice was completely pretty much gone, as hoarse as it could be. And within a couple more hours of being awake in the afternoon, as I am a night person, except for work, I I spiked a fever. So I immediately, I let it go for a day, and then because then Tuesday didn't change, I immediately messaged both my primary care physician and my rheumatologist to tell them that I was sick and all that jazz. So I didn't have the flu, I didn't have COVID, and I didn't have strep throat. I had an upper respiratory infection, which the biologic can put you at greater risk. It says that as a warning, but I had only taken one dose. And it was too early for it to do something like that. Would have needed more time in my system and probably more doses. So then my primary care physician figured that I probably picked up something and was going to get sick anyways. But because I was on 2 immunosuppressants, and how my body is anyways, I got sick. Luckily, my asthma did not come and want to play in the party, thankfully. First time ever. But they told me I had an upper respiratory infection, and I really just had to wait it out with the hope that I didn't have a fever. Pretty much both of them at minimum were in agreement of over 101. So the highest one and that's Fahrenheit. The highest I ever did was 100.2 Fahrenheit, but it never lasted very long, and it would come right back down and live in the 99s, which is where I spent most of March. Not most, all of March. Let me be specific. I was sick all of March with no voice, a fever, tired, exhausted. The first week for sure, I slept a lot, spent most of the time in bed. Ironically, the proof that the biologic will work, if I can get on one that is good, is that first week I may have felt crappy, sick-wise, but my body, pain-wise, felt amazing. I had no pain. It was great. So, on top of that, I then, because I was sick for then 2 weeks, the rheumatologist wanting to make sure that I didn't have pneumonia, sent me for x-rays and also wanted me to get labs, which I was supposed to do labs in March anyways, because these medications, you need to keep track of things because it can be damaging. Luckily, again, no pneumonia. My lungs were fine. Because I did have a cough, but it wasn't very. It didn't really produce any mucus. My struggle to like not use medical terms. Use layman terms. It was pretty dry of a cough. I would like cough up a couple of things, but it wasn't like normal mucus. And that happened. Then my labs came back and showed that I had a reaction to the new biologic, or really the two biologics being used together, or not two biologics, the two immune suppressants, working together. The pill I had been on since last year, and then the new injection that I had just taken. My liver enzymes had shot through the roof. A lot. It was a dramatic spike from where I had been at the time before the last labs I had taken. So I had already been told not to take any more injections because I needed even though my immune system hates me, I needed it to get better. After those labs came back, I was told to stop taking the immune suppressant pill as well. With the hopes that all my enzymes would go back down because nothing would be irritating it anymore. At the end of March, I had to do labs for my primary care physician, which were, again, regular labs that I needed to do anyways. The plan was to do them anyways. And in her labs, it showed that my enzymes had at least gotten down, so it was working. I haven't done labs as of today of filming this to check and update. But yeah. So that was that. I spent a month with a fever and the occasional coughish. no voice, and then another week voice recovery because my fever left first before my voice came back. So that is how I ended my first quarter. I did no writing. I haven't written anything at all this year. The last couple weeks I've kind of had a little not drive, but a little like feeling of wanting to write, but haven't. Partially because my laptop is definitely struggling with age. I did buy a new laptop because I was suddenly able to. I had the opportunity to, I should say. I need to set that up, and hopefully that will be better for streams and stuff as well. The newer gaming laptop. But I haven't done any writing. I haven't done any editing. I have done nothing creative in that sense. I did start playing Hightail, which is a new game that is in beta still, and is inspired by Minecraft and a Minecraft server called Hypixel. The people who were the branch out of that, from what I understand, of that server created Hypixel. And I liked it. It was really good. At some point between my laptop and my body, I stopped playing because sitting here in this chair was difficult and was exhausting. So that's all I've been doing really for that most part. I was watching a lot of YouTube, a little bit of shows, not really though, because I would find myself falling asleep. What I did though start doing to have some mental movement going that didn't require too much, and my hands were able to do surprisingly. I thought it was going to be more complicated, but it wasn't. Was I started a crochet project. So I had bought a wooble from my mom because me and my sister were trying to get her into hobbies. Now that she's not working, because the woman has no hobbies. So with that, I had bought myself a wooble also because I had crochet hooks. I just hadn't started yet, and I had looked up some videos and stuff, and I thought maybe this would be easier to learn. And actually it is. I like that I did this. Per classic ADHD fashion, I haven't finished it. It is sitting half done. Actually, probably not even half done. Kind of half done. Just on my coffee table. I want to finish it. I just mean like, not right now. Not right now. We'll see how long that sits there. So I started doing that. Read a lot of fan fiction. Tried to start reading some books, being inspired by the Winter Olympics. I got into women's hockey from watching the Olympics, and I love it. Like, soul deep love it. The PWHL, which is the Professional Women's Hockey League, is the only really big league for women playing hockey outside of like the Olympics. And it is so good. So I don't talk about sports too much in my streams or on the channel, but I'm a sports girl. I grew up watching football. I am very dedicated. I was brought up in a Pittsburgh Steelers household, and I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, even though my brothers have both chosen to not be, and we are in friendly sibling rivalry over football teams. I do casually enjoy baseball, which is my sister's preferred sport, and I am a fan of our Arizona Diamondbacks here. But because I like football, people have been trying to get me into hockey for years. And that turned into me being like, meh. Mostly because it sounded like everyone was so excited about the fighting. And I'm like, sometimes that can be exciting in football, but I like the game. So I know there's a lot more stricter rules during the Olympics, but in watching and learning, because I kind of got a little bit of a like OCD obsessiveness, so very rabbit hole, really shallow one. Didn't go too hard. I say that as I looked up sapphic hockey romances. Either way, digressing. Watching the PWHL has been very enjoyable. It's been fun to have a sport that I'm learning, not something that I necessarily grew up with and I'm like instinctively knowing. Like I'm learning as I'm watching the game. The community online is amazing because they stream, if you're in America, they stream every game on YouTube. And so you can watch it for free. And the chat is so electric and vibrant. The women, the athletes are so wonderful and amazing and like some idolizing to look up to. And they are just as rough as the little bits and pieces I've seen of the boys, and from what other people who also like watch regular hockey, who watch the PWHL talk about. They are just as rough and as intense as the men, but they actually play the game. So, as I'm recording this, we're getting close to the end of the season. Playoffs are coming. Games are much more intense, and there has been a few fights. But for the most part, there's barely a fight. There's a lot of tension, shoving, obviously name calling. You can tell from the camera. But they play the game, and that is what I enjoy. Sure, the fight is like an adrenaline spike, but it's more of a treat, kind of like in football, where there's not a fight every like 5 seconds, like there is in the boys' hockey. They wear face masks because they take safety very seriously in the PWHL. So I've been enjoying that. There's not a lot of teams. They're going to expand new teams. So if you want to get into the PWHL and watch either old recordings or just catch the playoffs, when the new season starts at the end of the year, they will be adding on new teams to the overall roster. So this might be a good time to join because then you can get a team that's maybe in your area. I have no team in my area, and I have fallen in love with 2 American teams and 1 Canadian team. So you can be loyal to one, love all of them, or love many of them, and everyone is also very open which has been great. It's been great. Though when my loves fight, it's hard to pick who do I want to win. But that's a personal problem. So that's kind of that's really all I've been doing. That's all I've been doing for this quarter. September was not great, but somehow was more manageable. Wait, what did I just say? January. I hope I said January. I meant January, but I didn't say January. February was rough, body-wise. It kind of was like my body was punishing me for trying to survive January with steroids. So, and then I just fell apart in March. I'm reaching the end of my schooling. If you remember, some stuff happened in taking this class to hopefully get a new job that would be better and easier on me. And that's coming to an end. I need to work on getting ready for the test because I've been a lot of passive listening because I was sick in March and in February sometimes again. To sit in this chair was difficult. So, yeah. It's been a rough beginning of a year. So, I haven't actually finished reading anything besides fan fiction. I would love to tell you that I read X amount of books and whatever. Actually, really, the only thing besides fan fiction I did finish reading was I read the Batman KO comic run. Loved it. A plus. I read most of the original KO, DC KO. I think there's still some more that I haven't read, but it was Batman. I read it. Batman and Jason and all that. I started reading the Absolute series, but I haven't finished any of those. Mostly because it's on my laptop, or not my laptop, my phone, and sometimes I don't want to read on my phone. So that's where life is. Now, within the last week, because again, I've been watching a lot of YouTube, I ended up catching up with a lot of things and ended up going back to old channels I haven't watched in a really long time. Specifically, a lot of people I used to watch that were J-bloggers, which is people who vlog in Japan, if you don't know what a J-blogger is. And there is one specific person who is also an artist who is amazing. Her name is Emirichu. I'll hopefully remember to put her channel down below. She's an amazing artist. Her art is so cute. And she started talking about a mobile game called Love and Deep Space. Which, so Love and Deep Space is an Atomo game, specifically a gacha Atomo game. If you don't know what an Otome game is, an Otome game is a dating sim that's specifically A, hetero, B, was started being made in Japan, and usually it's usually created by like Asian companies. Those tend to be what the specifics of Otome is. Versus in general, dating sims can be WW. It could be like general, where you could date whoever. You're not just stuck to one gender. So, Love and Deep Space, or for short, what people call it is LAGS, is a sci-fi Otome game. And I've played Otome games before, and really, Summit Lover is kind of like a well, it's a dating sim. It's sort of like an Otome, like a traditional Otome game, but not necessarily. But traditional Otome games, you would pick one guy, and you would then go through the story with the idea of you're dating this one guy. And then you would get a good ending, a bad ending, or a neutral ending, and then you'd have to restart your playthrough to date a different guy. The first couple gacha Otome games still mostly ran like that. The difference, and where the gacha comes from, I did not explain the gacha. If you don't know what gacha is, it's like Asian gambling, but not, because like specifically in Japan, gambling's illegal. But it's where you pull for something random, and you randomly will get a thing. So the first kind of Otome gacha games, which there is a company I have played a couple of their games that were newer at the time where they were stepping into that gacha world. The story itself wasn't really any different from like a console Otome game like you would find on a DS. But what was different and where they got you in money was in order to get either the really, really nice ending and also to get special like dates or go on special adventures with the love interest, the guys, you had to spend money usually because they weren't very generous with in-game currency. Now, I know there was a huge spike in Otome games with Mystic Messenger and Obey Me, and there was one other one. I didn't play any of those. I almost played Obey Me, almost, but when I was looking at it, it didn't have an English version yet, and then I just totally forgot about it. Love and Deep Space was introduced to me by Emma Ritchie because she fell down the rabbit hole of Love and Deep Space because she got a sponsor. Love and Deep Space is not like any Otome game I've ever played. First of all, the big thing is they are really generous with in-game currency. There is the one version of in-game currency that really, if you want it, you have to pay for it. But you can pay for a lot of things by just playing the game, and they give you money. They give you diamonds, which is the main in-game currency. And then the one you have to pay for is crystals. They're really generous in giving you these diamonds and how you can get them and build them up, which I've never played an Otome game like that. It's great. I don't know if other gacha games are like that. I've never played any other gacha game besides an Otome gacha. The other thing that's great about Deep Space is you can kind of date more than one love interest without consequence. So in a traditional one where you pick your main love interest, and if you were seen flirting with one of the boys, if it let you, sometimes they didn't even let you do that, but if they did, you could ruin your relationship with your main boy. In Love and Deep Space, the guys don't really interact much. So it doesn't really matter. What they've also done which is they have a main story, and then they do branch a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily affect you negatively in relationship with the guys, because they kind of all will equally get something out of you going through the story. And then the main part, not the branching parts, the main character, is very neutral when then you interact with the love interests. They only get really romantic or spicy or intimate when they kind of do a little branch off and you focus on one love interest. And during that time, you can then choose to not be very romantic because you don't like that love interest, or you can choose to be very romantic. And it's nice. It's really nice. It's great experience to be able to date openly like that in a game when traditionally you can't do that. And from what I understand, a lot of dating sims still are very like mono. I almost said monotheistic, which is not the right word. Now I can't think of the word. I laughed and it went off my brain. But, like one person. Another thing that's great about this game is that the story is actually super great. It is really good. It is so complex and so detailed and so fucking amazing. It's a sci-fi Otome game with a little bit of like fantasy kind of poofed in, just tiny bit. I would actually say it's it veers into like sci fantasy, but heavily science fiction. It has time travel and alternative universes and timelines, and it's interesting and messy and good, really good. It is. The devs have not half-assed the story at all. It's not a generic story. Each love interest on the surface, you can see what traditional tropes they are. And then you have the like in layer when you get close to them, and really they're more like this. But even on top of that, a lot of them are twisting the tropes, which is something we do in romance. And or we suggest to kind of shake up tropes, is to like turn them on their head. I've never seen something like this do that. It's really great and kind of exciting. There's a lot of lore because I was impatient. I may have looked up a lore explanation. So technically, I've spoiled myself. But I don't care. I watch people play Pokemon games day one and then play it later. So I don't care. The only time I care about spoilers is usually a book in a movie. Games, I don't really care about spoilers. But yeah, the lore is really great, really intense, really deep. The theories that people have been so amazing. It's nice. And even though the main audience is women because it is a hetero game, there's a lot of men who have also played the game who are bi or gay or even straight for content, who have also been super surprised about the game because, yes, it's a dating sim. You're dating these really hot men because the graphics are like top tier fucking amazing for a mobile game. And you can only play it on a on a tablet or a phone. It is not on PC. It is not on a console. And the graphics are amazing. There's voice acting in this, and they are so good. Top tier voice acting. But it's not just that. There is combat in this game. You fight alongside the love interests. And where the gotcha comes in is you pull memories or cards for dates, little either whole animated stories, or where you hear them speak to you, or an audiobook kind of story. One of those three options usually, or a full almost mini movie memory. But you then take those cards, you can level up those cards, and then you use them as a power up to go fight monsters with your love interest. And you use the leveling up of the memory, the watching of the memory, and then the battling with the love interests to up your affection and your relationship with certain love interests. So that's how you can still play through the main story and still grow affection with everybody, because that's how the storyline works. But then if you pick only specific people to fight with, you only increase your relationship with those people. And that battling gameplay is not something a lot of people talk about. Because yes, I will admit, if I have the energy, I'll put up my two guys that I am equally romancing. They're fucking hot. And I'll leave a link to the game. You can go check out how hot these people are. And I accidentally opened Tumblr, and the art is amazing that other fans are doing. Some of the fan fiction is fucking amazing. And it's great. But it's so much more. And I find that refreshing. The game allows you to have a great storyline, to date really complex love interests, to battle that's like a real battle, to go on cute little memory dates, to go on just regular dates with your love interests. There's a lot of intimate connection with the love interests. Is you can poke them and talk to them. You can work out with them. You can also, which has caused huge strife in the community, especially with the incel man. The game will track your period for you, and the boys in the game, whoever you've chosen as your most interested people, people, will let you know, hey, your period's coming up, or oh, I know you're on your period, and if you want to, you can go through a whole little mini prompt of him telling you nice things, offering to go to the store for you to get pads or tampons, or being like, oh yeah, I'll cuddle with you. It is a whole ass fucking experience. Now, have I spent money on this? Possibly. Maybe. But it's still way less money than I did used on the first ever Otome Gacha, which got me in trouble. To the point that this game, literally, on for the crystals, I believe it is, when you buy crystals, that the in-game currency that isn't given to you freely, or very often, it literally says on the bottom to enjoy playing the game, but do not get addicted. They do not want you to get a gambling addiction or to use all your money to play the game. It is great. So that is what I've been doing. I have been catching up on some things. I have been feeling like I'm dying. I have found a new game to obsess over. And even though I'm a lurker in community and I haven't found other people really to play or talk to about it, the just sitting and observing of the community has been amazing. So, yeah. that is what that's been. Now, to second quarter, as I've gushed about a few things now, sports and Achame games. I will say one last thing. As cute as Love and Deep Dates can be, with like cute little memory dates, there's this game is T for teen. Oh, do they push that line in some of them? Some of that's pushed really hard in the like intimacy kind of things. But also like it's all the game is a little depressing because the main story is again great and intense. If you like angst, if you like being emotionally scarred, you'll probably like this game for the story. Just saying. Okay, I am not going to have a set time for this next quarter. I'm currently waiting on a new biologic injection because after having the reaction with my liver enzymes, my doctor does not want me to go back on either of those pills. So I'm currently in this limbo where I'm on literally nothing besides pain meds. And my body is getting inflamed. I'm having a hard time moving. I had to call off of work because I was really struggling to get out of bed. I could not walk very well. So I am not going to plan anything. I would love, by some miracle of the universe, to publish my book by the end of the year somewhere. At the end of this year. Sometime. But I'm not going to promise you guys, or promise myself, because I really felt horrible last year having to constantly push it back, and then postpone it, and then decide that it's just not going to happen. So, when I get on a medication that hopefully finally makes me feel like a functioning person, then I will get back to really focusing on getting Hunger's Desire. No, not Hunger's Desire. Well, also writing more chapters for Hunger's Desire. But I just totally blanked out on the name of my Project Blasphemy. There we go. Oh my god. I have been thinking about it. My brain just went. I also went around where my ADHD was really bad because we tried to change med, and I had to go back to original med. But that was more of like a footnote on all my medical things. I will get back to figuring out on publishing Project Blasphemy, finishing writing the second book of it. So I'm just not going to plan. So I feel like right now my life is so unstable that I can't comfortably write anything. I may get a little bit better with this new laptop, which will actually have battery space for more than just a little bit, so I can maybe, write on the couch where I couldn't really with this one, and stuff like that. Because I've spent a lot of time on the couch because I sitting fully upright and all of gravity pushing on my pelvis is not comfortable and something I can sustain for very long. So being able to like slouch or lounge on the couch has been helpful because I don't feel like I'm laying down in bed. So maybe I can start doing some things. I've had some ideas for new books, actually, new stories. I've had ideas for poetry that I just haven't been able to put out. So we'll see how I feel, how everything goes, how everything works when it comes to writing. The stream, I miss it. I miss hanging out with you guys. I miss watching you guys enjoy the content I was making and me being silly. So the moment I can sit in this chair for more than 2 hours, which I'm already getting to my limit right now, then I'll start planning streams. We can go back to playing Tiny Bookshop, Minecraft. Hopefully Paleo will actually run on this laptop and stream well. If not, we'll again take it back out of the rotation. If you're interested in Hightail, we can add that to the rotation because it might be inspired by Minecraft, but it is a different experience, and I really do enjoy it. Playing Repo with everybody. Des has restarted her gaming channel and has plans and wants to do a bunch of things. And I would love to be able to be part of the community and play games with everyone. Again, if I could sit for more than 2 hours in this chair. So yeah, and we'll go back to doing the AStoryteller because we didn't finish what was available, and then we'll have to do it again because it was not a finished story. But yeah, so I'm not going to make plans and promises of when I'm going to come back. The only thing I will say is that Des wants to do some stuff in May. So there might be a tentative plan for me to stream then. If not, what I might do is just record us play while she's alive, and maybe I'll just upload a log play so you guys can experience it still, but I won't have the pressure of managing the stream and playing and my body. So those are all options. And again, videos are still going to just be probably this for now. Really just updates for you guys. Except probably until I get closer to publishing, then there'll probably be more videos. But again, I don't have a timetable for that right now. I have a hope for the end of the year, but I'm not going to hang anything on that. So yeah, that's that. That's it. If you have any questions, you can put them down in the comment section. This video is going to be posted both on the main channel and the stream channel. So I know not everybody watches both, and I feel like at this point, after 3 months of being disappeared, stream deserves to also know what the fuck's happening. So, yeah. That's that. If you play Living News games, let me know. My DMs are open on Instagram and just if you want to talk. But yeah, or if you watch the PWH, or if you want to get into it, let me know. I'll try to remember to post links. No promises. But yeah. So that's it. Thank you if you watched this all through and listened to all my rantings. And because I'm not really gonna edit this that much. And yeah. that's it. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys at minimum the end of next quarter for another update. Hopefully sooner, but we'll see. Bye. Health, raise, and prosper.